right? So we have created a one RAG application that could be deployed on some machine, and after that it could work without an internet. And the only reason is, so we could secure our data within our network, and it dot goes out of your network, right, for security reasons. Now the use case could be, you could work with, let's say, police force, you could work with some government data, the secure data. So for that reason you could go with offline RAG application. So over here we have created this application. We will talk through all the important classes, the stuff that we need to know to understand the concept. And before that, what I did, I went to the ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT to help me out to create this application, right? I have made a prompt and then it helped me out, and this is the workflow that we have implemented. So in this workflow, if you see, there is the source document. What we will do, we will upload one document to our AI, and then we will ask the question to the AI related to that document, and in return we expect AI to answer us back in the form of natural human language. So this is the workflow in theory. We will talk now in theory, and then we will go into the real implementation, right? So this is the strategy that we have implemented. So there will be one Word document that we will upload, and then Word document will be split it into multiple the documents. And why multiple? Because the document could be huge, right? So we will split into multiple. Then we will use embedding model. The embedding model used to convert those the text, the English text or any language text, into the model language, which is embedding the vector database language, right, into that numbers. So embed is just a number. So, and then those embed will be stored into the vector database. Then there is a retrieval process. A user will prompt his or her question, that will go in again into embedding, right? That will convert those normal English text, will convert it into the embeds. Then embeds will go through some service and find out the right embed or the nearest embed. Then that embed will forward along with the question to the AI, right? And then AI will try to find out the best answer, and it will return in human language. So this is the whole workflow that we are going to implement, right? Now for that, because you are going to create an offline AI model, sorry, not the model, the offline AI RAG application. For that, you must make sure the Ollama is installed on that machine, right? This is a framework that help you to create, the offline AI things. Then the Docker is important. You must make sure that Docker is also running over there. The reason is because you have to use the vector database, and vector database is fully supported on the Linux operating system, but we are working with Windows operating system. Then you could go and download the vector, the Docker desktop from the internet, right? And then you could, you will have something like this Docker desktop, and from the Docker desktop, then download the image for your quadrant. So if you see in my history, there is a recent search quadrant, and I have already downloaded it, and you could also see over here, right, which is already there. Now, when all things are done, the next step is you have to go here and you say just a command docker ps in the command prompt, and you will see something is running with the name of quadrant, but it is not, it could be blank if you are running for the first time. And over there you have to add this command. You have to say run my docker, right? And the name of that, the container should be quadrant. All right. And then you are saying there are two ports that it will work. One 6333, and then second is 6334. There are two ports required. One is, the REST API port, which is this one that will be used by us as a human to go and, look into the vector stuff, vector database stuff, and then gRPC port, which is 6334, right? That will be used by our application, our, program to go and, talk to that vector database, right? And this is the model name, the vector database name, right? Now let's go to the Visual Studio and talk through our program. What we have done here, you could find this whole solution in the description of this video, the GitHub link. You could download, run it. So The important thing before you start in the program.cs, we have definitely registered. I don't want to go into the detail, the singleton and all. Those are the programming concept. This thing is most important that I wanted to talk, which is, registering our quadrant. So that quadrant, as I said, there are two ports we have registered. One is 6333, right, which is our REST API port, and second is 6334. So when your vector database is running, you could go to the browser and run this localhost colon 6333, right, and you would see your vector database is running here, right? So this is your vector database. Same thing, similar interface you have like for SQL, you have Management Studio or MySQL, right? So this is your vector database interface. You could go browser and interact. Now, over here, if I go back to the code now, so that's why I'm saying, because my code will only speak to this gRPC port, not my REST API port. REST API port is for human to go and interact. For application, this is 6334 to go and interact, right? So this was the important thing. Now, what we will do, I will go into, the document controller, right? So in this document controller, we are uploading the document, right? And this one that you see, one more thing, which is my quadrant initializer, what I'm doing here. So this code, this whole code create the collection for me. So if you see here, there's one collection already. So what I will do, I wanted to delete this. Let me delete it because I had just created this quadrant through my code, not the collection through my code. So right now there is no collection. So in my code, I'm saying, hey, go and check if there is a collection exists. If yes, then don't worry about that. If not, then create a new collection, right, with certain size and the distance, and then this will create my initial structure for my the vector database, my collection, right? So that was the important thing. Now let's go through the every debugger point, the important debugger point, actually not every debugger point, right? And then we will go to the principles, right, how the concept works, how this has been implemented. So I'm putting my breakpoint directly over here, and for that I have not created any UI, the beautiful UI, right? I'm just, because my focus was mainly on the concept, so what I've done, I have going to explain all these through the postman. So my application is running now, looks like. So what I will do, I have one document which is uploaded, which is quadrant docs, right? I will show you later what the document contains. So I'm going to hit that breakpoint. Now let's see all the magics. Okay, so this is the point, where actual magic start. All those things are just, create the document, upload the file and blah, blah on the particular folder. Those are the programming concept. So this is the place. Now, if I go inside this, which is process document, over here, as I said, we are going to, read the whole word, the text from the document, right? So let's go further. Okay, so there's a read word method that helps me. So come on, you're taking so much time, bro. Come on, why is it taking so much time? Okay, all right, because of the the length of the word. So I got all the text from the Word document. Now, as I said, we will use the concept of chunking. So in AI, you must have heard people keep calling, I have chunked the document, I will use chunking strategy and all. What they actually mean, they mean that they are splitting the text into multiple parts, right? So they could create the embedding further easily, and then they can save into vector database in the form of chunks. So here, what I've done here, we have one chunking service, right? It's a very simple, something similar to like helper method. So there is chunk size I wanted to create of thousands and overlap of 200, right? Then it goes through every the word, and then based on this chunk size and overlap, it provides us back the number of chunks, right? So let's go there, and what I will do, I will put go for next line. So let's see. So I have got 13 chunks from that Word document, right? And these are the simple text. Right now, it's still a text, not the embed. Now here, what I'm doing here, so over here on all those chunks, those 13 chunks, I'm looping it, right? And then let's say for the first chunk, we got our vector, right? Now these vector you see, these are just a number, right? These are embed. Now, how we have done? So if I go to my solution explorer, and there is my embedding service which was called, you see I'm making a call to this port, where my embedding is working. This is another API slash embedding, and this is the model that I have downloaded from my command prompt. I just went and executed this command, and I have downloaded my uh, this my embedding model. This model is best fit for to dealing with the Word document or any sort of document, and it could give you the embed back, right? So all the prompt and then this model, and it will give you back the result. And the result that you got is this. You see all those numbers from first chunk, and then the magic will happen here. You are saving that first chunk, the embedding of the first chunk into the vector database, right? This vector store save chunk will call to this vector service, and from here I'm passing the ID, right? The unique ID, which is good, then the file name as a document name, chunk number, I'm just looping. It could be 0 first, then the first index next, then the second chunk number next, and then the chunk is actual text, the content, right? And then over here we are passing in that vector, the converted embedding. So if I can show you now my vector store service, here you see I will get those chunks, right? Then I will get those embedding. That embedding will store as a vector. I'm making one point. This point structure is required for my vector database, and in this class I'm wrapping everything. And then payload, I'm passing my content, right? The actual text, the actual document name, the file name, and then chunk number, right? And in the end I'm saying client.upsert to this as a collection name document, and then the whole point, it will insert my that code, right? So if you see quadrant-client.grpc, these are the namespaces that you would require. Quadrant.client, right? These are the namespaces you would require to save your data into the chunks, the embedding into your vector database. All right, so if I go back, come on, this will store now. And if I go further, let's go further, and then we will see if actually that works or not, right? So come on, come on, bro. Okay, looks like the magic has already happened. So if I go to my document, my vector database, and I refresh it, I should have some collection over here. You see my collection, and then there's a one pointer that I've created, and this was the page, this was the file name, this was the chunk number, and this was the actual text, the language text, right? And I can't see the vector over here. All right, now what I will do, I will just execute my program, and I will wait for it to just complete without any breakpoints, right? So let's go to the Postman now, and let's see if it's still working. I got the 200, that means my Word file is uploaded and the chunks are stored into the vector database. So if I could refresh again for my document, you would see there are multiple chunks stored, right? The chunk number 7, 12, 6, right? 4. So all those chunks are stored here. Initially there was just first chunks when we were debugging. Now we have all the chunks here, right? So everything is stored into my vector database. The next step is we will chat, right? We have already uploaded document. Now I'm going to ask step to fix the error, no connection could be made because the target machine actively refused, right? So somewhere in this document I already have this question. So one second, let me just copy this. Maybe not the exact same question, but should be somewhere, right? Come on, here you go, right? There were certain errors, so which is already documented, and there are stuff, check if quadrant is running, blah blah, right? So I'm going to ask this question from my prompt, right? So this is the one endpoint that I've already created. So I will go to my application, go to my, this time the chat controller. In the chat controller I have ask, and I will do to go to this one, go to implementation, and over here I have my RAG service created, and we will again do the same strategy, right? So let's go send it, right? Right now there is no use of AI when you uploaded a document. Now there will be use of the AI, when you will pass the question and the context from the document, and then AI has to respond back, right? So let's see. Okay, I'm already in the breakpoint. Here you go. So the first thing, as we discussed in principle, in theory, through the diagrams, that your question will get converted into the embedding first through embedding service. Over here, if you remember, we had embedding service where you will get forward the text, it will give you back the embed, right? So same thing. Let's go, and I will get my embed for the question that user has requested or asked, right? And this is the float. All right. So then chunks. Question, you got your embed. Now it will go to vector store and it will search, right? So that means it will go to vector store service over here, and you see here you are saying this is my collection. You have to search from my collection, right? And you are saying this is my embedding, which is user question, right? And you are limiting to just the five best embeddings. It could be, you can increase or decrease. And then it goes and find out that client.search async from the document from the vector database based on the parameters, right? This client.search async will give you the best five the chunks related to your embedding, right? It has their algorithm to find out the chunks based on the embeddings. So I will go there and I will see I got the chunks. I got the 5 chunks. As I said, how many chunks I want. There was a limit. So I want 5 best chunks. So I got the 5 best chunks related to my embeddings. Now over here in the context, what I'm trying to do here, I'm getting the content that was stored against those embed. If you remember, in the vector database, we are storing the content as well, right? Because AI will understand the text, not the embed, right? So over here, if I go, I am getting my context. Here you go, right? So this is the whole context, right? For those, 5 chunks. So if I go now, and this is the prompt that I have prepared. Now here, we are going to deal with AI at this step. So I'm saying, this is my prompt. You are a document assistant. Answer only using the supplied context. If answer is not present in context, say, I could not find that information. And this is my context, right? From those chunks, right? And then there is a user question, simple English thing that I'm passing to my AI. And this is my Ollama, right? And that is supposed to give me answer back. So, and then, when you got the answer, this will not be user friendly, but over here you are, sorry, right? So over here, you will find your, answer from the Ollama based on the prompt. That was my prompt, and that will respond in certain, the answer, and then the chunks as well, right? The document name and all. So I'm going to hit it directly now, and all right, so we got the answer. Because it took 9 minutes, I have paused the video. I don't want to waste your time, because I'm working on the CPU machine. If it was GPU, it could be very fast, right? Okay, so why GPU? Because I'm using offline Ollama thing, right? If you are more interested in watching this, you could go and watch this video. You will have the full understanding of how Ollama works. Okay, you see, based on my question, I've asked for steps to fix the error, and the error was no connection to image, blah blah, right? So here I got the answer based on the provided context. Here are steps to fix the this error. And there is, you see, check if quadrant is running, open the browser and navigate to this one. If it doesn't open, quadrant is not running. Step to check docker ps, blah blah, right? So all those things. So if you could see here, so that is actually coming from from this this document, the content from this document. You see, all those things are already answered. So there was a step, right? Quadrant is running or not, check the docker is this command. So everything was answered by our AI, right? So that is how you could create the AI model. So in this video, we have just focused on the document file. The next thing, we will look for different things. For example, from the answers, how you could rank the answer, right? That this is the best answer, rank number 1, this is the rank number 2. So we'll talk about the ranking model, and in the future we will talk about a lot of things. So if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe today, and you will get all the updates. All right, that's all for today's video. I will see you in the next video.